Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to Java and Joy. I'm your host, Carla Joy, your coach, your hype woman, your glam guide, your guide to living a life with purpose, beauty, and joy. And today is going to be good. Today is going to be good. This is the final episode of our little December mini series that we've collectively called Reflecting and Renewing. And this one is all about glowing into the new year. We are going to talk about setting aligned intentions, not resolutions. I know everyone wants to set resolutions right now, but we're going to set aligned intentions instead. But first, let me just take this time to wish you all a very happy new year. This episode airs the week of the new year. So happy new year, everyone. I hope that you spend extra time with your family this week. And I mean, as always, but it just, soak it all in, really think about all the good things that came from 2025 and all the amazing things that are coming in 2026, all of the happiness, joy, and beauty that's going to be coming to you. Think of all those things, those opportunities and the journeys that you're going to go on in 2026. So happy new year to my online community. And I also have to give a huge shout out here. I have to shout out one of my coaching clients, Tracy. I believe it's anonymous, but Tracy just graduated from one of my Joy Journey programs and landed her dream job. Something that she told me less than 6 months ago she didn't think she could achieve, and she did. And I'm so proud of you, Tracy. I'm proud of her hard work that she put in, her willingness to take every hurdle with strives and just keep persevering. And just congrats, Tracy. Congrats. It's been such a joy to see you succeed. So congratulations and enjoy that dream job going into 2026 hard. I love it. Coming in with a bang, girl. So congratulations on that. All right. So that's the housekeeping for today. So let's get into our episode. So we're talking about the new year, but not in the way that you're used to. We are not going to be talking about resolutions. We're not going to talk about punishing commitments and harsh self-improvement. Not the new year, new me pressure that shows up every single December. No. We're doing things the Java enjoy with. This is about intention. This is about alignment, energy, desire, feeling your way into the future instead of forcing it. So, this is your personal invitation that I am handing you right now to enter 2026 with clarity, softness, grace, and a glow that starts from the inside out. So, grab a comfy seat. It's comfy seat time, guys. Get a nice, yummy beverage to sip on. Y'all know I've got my Java in hand as always. Take a deep breath. Release any tension that your body is currently holding. If you have tight fists, your shoulders are hunched, your knees are tight together, let it all out. We don't need any of that. Anything your body's holding, let it go and enjoy this time that is just for you. So let's take a sip and get started. So good. Still loving my Starbucks Christmas blend. No, I'm sorry, holiday blend. I always get the two confused. The Christmas blend is good, but the holiday blend, that one's where it's at, y'all. If you haven't tried it, I am always the person who buys extra bags towards the end of the season and puts them in my freezer. They stay fresh there. So, pro tip, if there's a coffee you really like that only comes out at certain times, buy extra bags, put them in your freezer. They'll last for several months. That's your little side tip for today. I mean, this is Java and Joy, right? Got to have the Java in there. All right. Now, let's start with some honesty here. Every year, millions of people set resolutions. And by the first week of February, most of them are long forgotten. I don't quote me on this. The statistic is somewhere between 60 and 75% of New Year's resolutions are already given up by that first week of February. That is not very far into the new year. And most of them are long forgotten by then, too. Not only have they quit by then, but they, did it a while ago. Let's just say that. But let's figure out why. Why do we think that is? So let's break it down. So resolutions come from pressure, not truth, pressure. They usually start with, I should lose weight. I should save more money. I should stop doing X, Y, Z, whatever it is. The resolutions are born from guilt, not desire. Resolutions focus on behavior, not your identity. They try to change what you do without addressing who you are becoming because true transformation is identity driven. So, resolutions are very rigid, and we are beautiful, evolving humans, and we're not meant to live in a rigid way. Life changes, circumstances shift, energy rises, energy dips. Rigid goals break down under real life pressure because none of us live a steady stream perfect life every day. It is full of ups and downs and unforeseen events and, you know, obstacles and hurdles that get in our way. So when we set these like very rigid goals, we are setting ourselves up to fail right off the bat. Intentions, however, those are rooted in desire. They're rooted in your feelings. They're actually in alignment with your core being. There's always a deeper why behind your goals. So your intentions actually guide your decisions without suffocating you. They let you evolve and not just switch a button on and change. They let you evolve and not punish yourself in the process. That's why intentions are different than resolutions. Intentions actually they tap into your purpose, not the pressure behind you. These intentions are going to last longer because they're connected to your heart, to your soul, to your being, your spiritual self. That's where intentions come from. And your heart and your soul being and your spirit part of you is so much more powerful than any to-do list, than any pressure that is being put on you. Okay? Attentions can ask you, how do you want to feel? How do you want to live? How do you want to show up this year? Not because someone else says you should, not because you feel guilty. How do you want to feel and show up in 2026? Do you see the difference there? Not, I should lose weight. How about, I would like to feel better? I would like to have more energy. I would like to live a healthier life. I would like to find balance in my life. That is not the same as I should lose weight. Those are completely different goals, and one has an intention behind it, and one has pressure behind it. I mean, which one already excites you more? Just saying it out loud. I need to lose weight or I want to feel better. Probably going to be the one that says I want to feel better. It sounds better, right? So you need to ask yourself, how do I want to feel? How do I want to show up? Resolutions pressure you to perform. Intentions invite you to become a better you. They're an invitation, not a pressure. Think of it as like it's no longer an obligation, right? It's now something you want to do, not something you have to do. So that is the difference between a resolution and an intention. And that's why we need to go into the new year with intentions, not resolutions, not living in a rigid way. So that leads me into let's talk about identifying those core desired feelings because you may not even be sure what your core desired feelings are at this point. So we have to go deeper to find those. So if intentions to stick, if you want them to stick, they have to be rooted in your feeling. And we need to know what those feelings are. So that's the part that people skip. But this is the part that changes everything. Let me say that again. In order to make a change in your life, you need to listen to your feelings. You need to know what those feelings are. And that is what people skip. And it's the most important part that changes everything. Your core desired feelings are the emotions that you want to experience more often in your life. Think of them as your internal compass. They're your North Star. Your feelings are your North Star. Take a breath. Maybe close your eyes if you're not driving and ask yourself, how do I want to feel in 2026? Do you want to feel peaceful, confident, joyful, grounded, creative, energized, radiant, supported, abundant? All of these intentions should be built around these feelings, not arbitrary resolutions. And this matters because when you know the feelings you're seeking, your decisions naturally just kind of line up with it. So if you want to feel peaceful, you're going to naturally choose to set boundaries. If you want to feel confident, you're going to naturally choose routines that energize you and make you feel good. If you want to feel abundant, you're naturally going to shift into gratitude and aligned habits. Feelings lead to choices. Those choices lead to behaviors, and the behaviors lead to results. So this is how intentions transform your life. Now take a minute here, and I want you to choose at least three to five, but let's go with three feelings that feel true for you. And don't overthink this. Your body knows what you're craving. What are three feelings you want to have? Not objects, not goals, not end results. What are three feelings that you want to have? Those are what are going to be your intentions. And those are what you're going to work towards. Feeling those feelings. Those are your goals. The goal is having that feeling or those feelings. So write those down. So let's do a guided exercise here. This is my vision for the year ahead is what we'll call that. It's kind of an internal vision board. So if you have a journal, great, write it down. If not, we're just going to listen and we're going to reflect. Okay. So we're going to walk through just a really gentle, simple vision setting exercise here. And this is not about specifics. This is not about pressure. This is about alignment. So you can even pause between prompts here if you want to revisit this later. Save this episode so you have it to come back to. Whatever feels best for you is fine. But step one is going to be your core energy for 2026. So write this down or make a note. Again, you can come back to this anytime. The energy I want to embody this year is. So what's the vibe going to be for your year? Soft, bold, magical, focused, free, radiant, confident, happy, joyful, peaceful. There's no wrong answer here. We're not grading you, I promise. Everybody gets an A. Everybody gets an A. Everyone gets a star. Everyone gets their participation points. But just ask yourself, what energy do I want to embody this year? And then step two is where we're going to really go into those core desired feelings. You're going to pick what you wrote down from what you wrote down earlier, okay? And you're going to say, now, how I want to feel, and how should you walk to feel that way? So is there a certain way you need to dress or speak or something you need to create or a way that you can show up? Let your imagination run wild. Kind of think of creating like your alter ego here. Like, who do you really want to be? What do you want to look like? But it all comes back down to those feelings, though, right? Because you can look a certain way, but that's not what's making you happy. It's the feeling behind how you look that is making you happy. So we need to tap into the feeling. Is it because it's making you feel more confident if you wear something, or if you look a certain way, or if you do your hair a certain way, or if you speak differently, or if you show up on a regular basis? Here's a good example of this. Let's take looks, weight, and all those things out because I know those are very common things. But let's say that your goal is to change careers or a profession of some kind. You need a picture like, what do you look like doing that career? Or Maybe your goal is to start practicing self-care more regularly and taking care of you and making yourself a priority. What does she look like? Does she look calm? Is she in cozy clothes? Or maybe you're comfortable in dresses. Maybe dresses make you feel comfortable. But picture who she is when she feels good. Or maybe you're like, man, if I could just show up for myself for 15 minutes a day, that's going to make me feel better. It's going to make me feel confident too. And you're going to have trust in yourself because you know that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. And that naturally builds confidence. So once you say, I'm going to show up for myself even 5 minutes a day, and you do that for 30 days, after 30 days, you've now built confidence in yourself. And that's going to make you feel good. You wanted to feel confident. So you set tiny goals that you could achieve. And the more you keep doing it, the more you realize that you can achieve your goals. That's how you build confidence. You build confidence by just doing something repetitively. You just get in and you do it. That's how you build it. So no matter what your goals are, as you can see, they can be anything. But just think about, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel as a human being every single day? How do you want to feel? Okay. So here's where you're going to take that vision and like make not resolutions and make intentions. And you're going to have some prompts here. And again, take your time with this. You don't need to, do this right this second or anything. Again, save this episode, come back to it if you need to. But think of things that, like, what do you want to experience more this year? More fun, more rest, more social connection. Those are all things that are going to make you feel a certain way, right? What areas of your life need expansion, whether that's your health, your relationships, your spirituality, your confidence, your career? Where do you need to expand? And also, what do you need to release? Are there habits you need to get rid of? Are there fears that you need to get rid of? Are there certain beliefs that are standing in your way, or obligations that are standing in your way that can be removed? Or maybe it's an unhealthy pattern. What are you ready to release? Also ask yourself, what is one thing my future self would thank me for doing? Think about setting your future self up for success, for happiness, for joy. That's an intention right there. That is an intention. You can ask yourself, what am I craving right now? What are you craving? What would fill your cups? So, whatever rises out of all these questions, that's your soul speaking. That's your soul speaking. And you need to listen. That's your intuition, your soul, your spirit, whatever we want to call it. It is speaking to you. And that is your core speaking to you. Your core tells you what you really need in your life, not pressure, not a resolution. Your core will tell you what your intentions should be. So I hope that little exercise helps you kind of, get the wheels turning a little bit so you can start thinking about how you really want to feel, how you want to show up. What do you want to add? What do you want to subtract? What do you want the big picture to look like? Now let's talk about identity alignment. You can also ask yourself something like, who am I becoming this year? What qualities do I have? What qualities would help me take care of myself? What can I no longer tolerate? What can I welcome with open arms? Maybe there's something new for you to try. We don't grow without stepping out of our comfort zones. We all know this. This is not, groundbreaking information. Um, but you need to ask that kind of question, right? So what could I welcome? And what could I also remove? And it's a powerful thing to ask too, because it really does. Your identity is going to drive your behavior. So you don't want to set a goal to become somebody. You become her, and the goals will just align automatically. If you strive to be a healthy person, you're automatically going to lose the weight. Does that make sense? If you strive to become a doctor, you're automatically going to get the education and knowledge and experience in the process. Instead of saying, oh, I got to go back to school. No, I want to become a doctor. So think about what aligns with you, because those goals are just going to automatically happen when you start reaching for the things that are going to bring you the real joy. And the last thing I want you to do is I literally want you to write a 2026 intentional statement. And you can even borrow my little template. I can even put it in the show notes, or you can message me. We can walk through this. But I want you to say, this year, I intend to live with whatever the core feeling is, peace, joy, whatever. And I'm going to make choices that support that desire. I'm going to welcome new experiences and I'm going to release old patterns. I'm going to step into the highest and most aligned version of myself. And then keep that somewhere. Write it out loud. Let it land with you. Your future self is smiling at you right now just by looking at listening to you read this and looking at you reading this, going, oh, yes, this is who we want to be, girl. Get it, do it. So set what you want to feel like, choose what you're going to add, and choose what you're going to subtract to get that feeling. And then you can always, anchor it in with rituals. Um, these can be beauty rituals, mindset rituals, whatever that support, your intentions. So these are the things that are going to really help your intentions stick because the intentions get stronger as we anchor them. So this is how we set rituals, not rigid routines. That's not the same thing, not perfection. These are gentle rituals to bring you back into alignment. You could choose a morning ritual where you drink water and do a gratitude journal, or you stretch and you breathe for 2 minutes. Say positive affirmations in the mornings. Today, I choose to feel blank. That is a morning ritual and it sets the energy for your day. You can also tie positive affirmations, gratitude, all those into your already daily rituals, like while you're brushing your teeth or while you're putting on your makeup. I mean, you can literally say, I am laying the foundation for the woman I want to be or the woman that I'm becoming as you're putting on your foundation and your makeup. Or if you're putting on your mascara, I'm opening my eyes to new possibilities. And these are things that you can say, while you brush your teeth in the morning, while you take the dogs out, while you're changing a load of laundry from the washer to the dryer. You can say, I speak with confidence, clarity, joy, because all these things are going to reinforce feeling good. Notice all these things you tell yourself is not a like tangible, like an actual goal, like a touchable thing, like I'm gonna lose weight. Like we don't want to tell ourselves that all day every day, because losing weight's not fun. It doesn't make you feel good. Not in the process, it doesn't. It might at the end, but it doesn't in the process because you're doing things that are uncomfortable. So that's why you have to continue to make yourself feel good and have intentions behind it. And that's why I say keep telling yourself that you're open to new possibilities, that you are becoming the woman you've always wanted to be. You also need to do like daily joy check-ins. This is what I call them. I mean, it could just be a daily check-in, but we want joy check-ins around here. So just, start asking yourself, what is one small thing I can do today that supports my core feelings? Just one thing. One thing a day will rewire your brain and build momentum at the same time. You can even review at the end of each week. What did I do this that really felt aligned? What did I do this week that drained me? What needs adjusting? Because a lot of times we start these goals and then in 30 days we're completely burnt out and we quit, right? But what if you were taking like temperature checks periodically instead of waiting until you're completely just done? You've just done, it's been too rigid, it's been too hard, you took on too much, you bit off more than you can chew, right? If we were taking those joy checks, those temperature checks more often, we would recognize that this is too hard. You need to take smaller steps, baby steps, right? So ask yourself every week, what felt good this week? What drained you this week? And try to make adjustments as you evolve, as you go off of these intentions. And that's going to make you feel so much better. And it's going to keep you from burning out, from overdoing. Don't wait until you're burnt out and be like, I did too much, I quit. Take a temperature check, take a joy check once a week. And again, just make sure you're really practicing saying the positive affirmations, taking time for yourself, just by you sitting down and reflecting on your week, on what felt good and what didn't, that is self-care. That time you're taking to listen to yourself and reflect on your week is moments of self-care every single time you do that. And just keep telling yourself, this didn't go well, but this did. This is what I'm going to tweak. I'm just, and I got this. I'm proud of who I'm becoming. And you're going to build self trust in that. And that's a huge foundation to make a real transformation. You have to have trust in yourself that you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, you've given up on yourself before you've even started. So you have to believe that. And that's why it's important to listen to feelings and intuition and not pressure. Rituals are not chores. Rituals cannot be chores. Rituals have to be things that make you feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, it's not a ritual, it's a chore. So make sure you're adding rituals into your life, things that are making you feel good, as maybe you're doing things you don't normally like to do, but by adding it, making it a ritual and adding fun moments to it, maybe now it's something that you do like to do, right? Or you just don't tie the two together at all. If even saying positive things while you're doing laundry is just still draining you, then no. You say the positive things when you're doing the makeup or taking a bath or brushing the teeth or whatever the things are that don't drain you, that don't have a negative connotation to them. Okay? And remember, self-care helps fill those cups. And if the cups are full, guess what? You have the energy to actually listen to your intentions, to actually listen to your core and listen to your spirit. If you're drained, you ain't listening to nothing. You're not thinking logically. You're exhausted. You can't make clear decisions that way. And that's why a lot of people give up too. They're just exhausted because they haven't been listening to themselves. They're just doing what they think they have to do. So remember to get that self practice or self care into there as often as you possibly can. Okay. So now let's talk about encouragement. You're allowed to evolve gently, by the way. Not every goal needs to be completed in like 21 days or 30 days or whatever it is, because we often quit or give up or things don't last because we're just trying to do it too much too fast, right? Especially the lasting part. A lot of people will reach their goals, but then maintaining the goals becomes even harder than it was to reach the goal. And that's because you set up something that wasn't sustainable in the long run. If it's not something you can do forever, then it's not a lifestyle change. You've done something drastic and you've done something that you cannot physically sustain for long periods of time. Eventually you're going to burn out. So when you're setting things, think of it as lifestyle changes, not something that's a fast fix. If it's a quick fix, that's probably a red flag every single time because real transformations don't happen overnight. Real growth doesn't happen overnight. You becoming the person that you truly want to be is not going to happen overnight. So you need to learn to show yourself that grace and learn that it's okay to evolve gently. It doesn't have to take a whole year, but it also doesn't have to be done in a week or a month. There's some middle ground there that's we need to learn to get in and enjoy that middle ground. Okay. So here's something I want to remind you of too that you may forget that we went over today, and I'm going to keep pounding it in because I know it's the repetition. It makes things stick. But here's what I want to say: you don't have to improve yourself into exhaustion. You don't have to hustle your way into a new year. You don't have to prove anything to anyone because all those things are going to cause pressure. It should not be exhaustion. It should not be a hustle. It should not be you proving something to someone else. Transformation doesn't have to be intense. It can be soft. It can be slow. It can be quiet shifts. Tiny little brave steps can create transformation. So you have permission to grow at your own pace. You have permission to change your mind. You have permission to pause when you need to pause. And then you also have permission to start again as many times as you need. You only fail if you stop restarting. if you stop trying. Otherwise, it's okay. You can stop and go, stop and go. We've often talking about, how I say it's okay to close some doors sometimes, and then it's okay to reopen them. Same concept here. Because the purpose of this is to work on a life that makes you feel good on the inside, not just what looks good on the outside, or not just what other people perceive as successful. Your glow doesn't come from doing more, it comes from being aligned. And friend, you're already glowing more than you realize just thinking about becoming her. Doesn't it make you feel good to just think about feeling a way that you haven't felt or that you want to feel? It automatically makes you feel good just thinking about feeling good. And you have permission to do so. You have the permission to do so. Isn't that just amazing? So remember, intentions create alignment, alignment creates space, and peace creates joy. And that's what this is all about. 2026 needs to bring joy. So, whatever feelings you need to create to bring joy into your life, that's what you want to focus on. Those are the intentions that you're going to make. And you're going to go through those little exercises that we talked about and set up those intentions. No more resolutions, no more. We're just going to set intentions, real intentions that you can actually do, first of all, and stick to and hold forever, long term, so that 3 years from now, not only do you have those feelings that you wanted, not only have you become that woman you wanted to be, but you've been doing it consistently. And now you can't even remember what it's like before. You don't even remember what it was like to not be happy or to not feel peace or to not feel joy because you've been able to sustain those intentions and those feelings over a course of time. Because eventually the pre joy you fades. She fades. And the new joyful you gets to glow and continue to glow, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, the new year does not need to be a harsher version. It does not have to be rigid. It does not have to be pressure. It can be graceful and peaceful and soft and intentional. Make 2026 intentional. Go into it with saying, I'm going to feel blank this year. Sound good? Deal? Awesome. All right. That's a wrap. That's a wrap on almost this year, you guys. Wow. All right. Well, as always, thank you for joining me on another episode of Java and Joy. I hope today's conversation poured some joy right into your day. And if you love this episode, please keep the joy going. Send this to a friend who also needs a reminder to set their own aligned intentions for 2026 and coming out with me on social media. You can find me everywhere, basically, at Beauty by Carla Joy. That is Carla with a K. And if you are ready to take the next step on your joy journey and you want someone by your side helping you, maybe you need just some accountability. Maybe you need someone that can give you, a better sense of direction, someone that can provide you with more resources. That's what I'm here for. So you can visit my website at beautybycarlajoy.com and then go to /coach or click on the coaching tab there. I've got a ton of free resources, guides, things like that for you there. You can sign up for my free weekly newsletter that's full of coaching tips and tricks. I do fun giveaways with my community. My love language is giving, and so I always love to give goodies to all of my people out there. And then you can also explore my coaching packages there, and just so many other ways that we can bring joy into your life. So if you're listening to this on a podcast or on YouTube, all of my links are in show notes. But if you're on the radio, just go over to that beautybycarlajoy.com website. But that is all for today. I wish you all a happy and joyful new year. May all your 2026 dreams and intentions come true. So until next time, keep setting those aligned intentions and go find your joy. Bye.